If you hate ASMR stuff, I kind of apologize. Anyway, my name's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. And I have a lot of planned chores to do today. Not a crazy amount, but some things that I kind of have to get done and some things that I want to get done. So we'll kind of see what happens. I know for sure I have watering. I almost always have watering. And then also some pest treatment stuff, preventative pest treatment, which I haven't done in a while, which I always say you should do like 1 to 2 times a month. And probably just some like trimmings of anything that looks ugly. And I definitely feel like I had more than that. Oh, I would like to clean up my plant room a little bit. I have like some random things lying around everywhere. I need to take some photos of some plants for listing, like I need to sell them or trade them or whatever. And then also these just came in the mail. This is so whack because it's like these were in plastic and then they wrap them in a thing like this. It's just annoying. I know these aren't like true moss pools. I mean, like they're labeled moss pools, whatever, and you use them in the same way, sure, but they don't really they don't really hold moisture well, like at all, like a proper moss pool would. It doesn't matter how much I water them. I've even tried soaking them first. I think it's just because it's not the best material, honestly. But I mean, I have yet to find any moss pools, like true moss pools that are easily accessible for me. And easily accessible, I mean, I can order them online fine, but they always seem to be out of stock from people I see that make them. And then also ones that are affordable. Like if I had all the funds, all the monies in the world, I'd love to just buy the best quality moss pool, most sustainable, stuff like that. But I just can't really afford that, which sucks. So like for right now, these are the best in my budget for what I can find. So if you have any recommendations of any moss pools, let me know, comment. And I also thought about making some, so that's a thing too. I need to look into it, see how cost effective it is versus, I mean, I know they won't be cheaper than these, but if they can be somewhere near the same price or just a little bit more expensive, I'd be down to totally make my own. So maybe I'll do more research on that and then I could do a video on making my own DIY moss pools. Okay, so when I have a ton of plant chores, I like to start with watering first, just because hopefully by the time I'm done with the rest of my stuff, they'll be dry enough to where I can put them back to their spots. Not dry enough, but drained out enough. Won't be leaking with water, whatever. They'll be ready to put back in their spots, okay? I like to do watering first. You don't have to, doesn't matter. Let's see while I'm looking, my Hoya sunrise. Like, is that dust or what? Or is it something I should be concerned with, you know? I don't know. I hate that I just smelled that without even thinking twice. Maybe it's just really dirty, because if I rub it hard enough, it comes off. It's sort of slightly sticky actually. Okay, we're back. So with some quick Hoya research, I think it's just buildup of minerals and stuff. So not really a terrible problem, but you don't want your leaves to be like super covered in dust, mineral buildup, or anything at all, just because it's kind of interrupting the photosynthesis. Like, how do plants get their sunlight and everything they need to survive, you know, through their leaves? So if they're super backed up and gunked over with stuff, it's not really good. And so I'm kind of bad at that, at making sure my plants' leaves are clean all the time. So be better than me, I guess. So if you follow me on Instagram, I don't think I posted about this yet here. I killed my beautiful Hawaiian snow bush, which I loved and was on my wish list. And as you can see, these are dead leaves. Terrible. But all those little baby green leaves, all of these guys, these are all new growth. So we're coming back, baby. These are all the plants I gotta water, which honestly, it's not that bad, even though I feel like it looks bad. So I feel like I'm going through a stage where I want to put everything on a freaking moss pole, and I don't want to get too crazy because I know I'm going to regret it. I'm trying to be very thoughtful about what I put on a moss pole. I have 4 of these and 2 are gonna be going to my burrow marks. It's definitely gonna need 2, that thing's a mess. I also have this little enjoy that has been on this like janky little stick that I really wanna throw on a pole, and I think I'm going to chop it like where the leaves start to get smaller. So right about here, I'm gonna chop it just to kind of start over. I just realized too, the poles like sticking out. I kind of wanted to put my Shangri-La pothos on one. I think that'd look really cool. And I don't really see these on poles or planks, like just climbing in general. I do not see these climbing that often. So I'm really curious to see what it would look like, but I almost don't want to yet. Like I want to let it get, I don't know, a little longer. And then I also wanted to do my Scindapsus, but this one took forever, honestly, to adapt and acclimate to my room when I got it. So I don't really want to mess with it yet. I think I'm going to take a cutting regardless of this vine or somewhere in here and get that going, and then I might eventually put that on a pole. Next runner-up was my Mandula. I mean, I just watered it, so it's still kind of droopy. Yeah, I'm stuck between my Mandula and my Shangri-La, like which ones to put. I decided to do the Mandula on the last pole, and only because, as you can see, roots are starting to come out, and I'm having to water this thing like once a week, which totally is not normal, especially for winter time. So that's kind of a sign letting me know that it's probably root bound, not grown its pot, needs to be repotted in something slightly deeper. So I think that will be the one I put on a pole. I also need to put this in a bigger pot and fix it. I kind of threw it on last minute a while ago, and it's definitely needing some help, but I'm gonna keep the same pole, I think. So I'm kind of upset with myself because I should have done this before I watered, because I just kind of hate dealing with the wet soil. So I really don't think this one absolutely needs a bigger pot. I mean, that pot size was kind of perfect. If anything, I could throw it in this one. I think this one will be okay. It's not much deeper. It's just a little bit wider, and that will help because then I can push this forward, and then I'll just be extra cautious of my watering. And then also I am planning to keep this in a pretty sunny spot, so I don't think there's going to be an issue of water just sitting there. Plus my soil is pretty well draining enough, so I really don't think it'll be an issue. I'm going to give it a chop right about here. Like the variegation's great, so cute, but I kind of want to start this guy over just a little bit. It totally will work. And when it comes time, it'll be super easy to put this in a deeper pot. I just don't really have a deeper pot for right now. And then I'm gonna leave like these little bits just growing right here, and then maybe fill out the bottom a little. I'm super excited to see the roots. It's not that bad, honestly. I mean, they were wrapping just a tad bit, and you can see they were starting to kind of stick up against the pot, but totally not as bad as I thought. I'm gonna do something super nerve-wracking because I love this Mandula and I don't want to risk anything happening to it, because I don't really see these anymore. They're kind of harder to come by, but I think I'm gonna kind of split it all up and then attach it all to the vine, or to the pole. At least I know the roots look great. There's no sign of root rot at all. Not that I thought there was, but I mean, you never know. This vine is super long, very leggy down here, but that spot easily can just be buried. This is probably the best looking one for sure. Biggest leaves. So I think this one will go on the pole. Oh, but this one too. I don't know. Look at these things. This is just begging to be climbing, you know? Okay, so I got this one out. This one too was looking just slightly root bound. Not crazy, but I don't know quite yet if I'm gonna put it in the same size pot or what. Nice. All I have left is my big burr marks, and I'm honestly not quite sure how to do this, or how I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? There are multiple ways I can do it, I guess. There's different heads in here. I think my best bet is gonna have to be popping it out, unfortunately. I'm not gonna be able to just squeeze in a moss pole. Oh. Okay. Yeah, definitely made a mess, and definitely more root bound than I thought. I think I am gonna end up separating it. I see like two main heads, and then I'll have one climbing and one just kind of doing its own thing. That way I can kind of decide too like what I like better. Actually, it looks like there's like three main heads. And when I say heads, I mean I know there's obviously more than three in here. It's just kind of like eyeballing what it looks like, you know. Might be harder than I thought to separate. Oh no. So I just popped this off by accident. There is a root, thankfully. Okay, so I more or less got what I wanted. Here is one. Yeah, here's one main piece that I have. As you can tell, the root system is very healthy. And then, first of all, just look at this pile of dirt. And then this is the next big one. There were some lost ones on the way, like this one. Not much you can do without a node. But yeah, this one, which is a little bit bare in the middle compared to the other one, but. And then accidentally this guy, which I'm not mad about. So I have those two big ones, that one, and then this little baby one that I hope still survives. And I just need to decide now which one I want on the moss pole. I'm thinking this one. This one's definitely the most full. And see, I could even separate this if I wanted. So I'm definitely gonna put this one in with my moss pole. I'm also debating if I should maybe put the baby one like over here on the back to kind of fill that part out, and that way I don't have to have a whole separate pot for this. Now there's not really that much I can do. I mean, it's gonna look a little sparse for a bit. I mean, that was expected, you know. So it's the next day. I finished up everything I needed to finish, except I did it really late and my camera died and I didn't record. So here we are next day. I will show you everything I repotted. Here is the burl marks I put on the moss pole that I have. It's a little crazy looking, but I think it'll be okay. It obviously doesn't look as bushy because I have 3 separate plants now of the burl marks, and when they were all together, it was a bit of a tangled mess, but it did make it look more full, of course. But once this starts growing more in the middle, it'll totally fill out. The other one is right here. This one looks pretty good. The roots on these were insane, first of all, like huge. I did not think I was going to need a pot this big for it, but I'm glad I had it because this is perfect. And then I have another one here. This one is like the wonkiest one, the leggiest one. This one was all the way on the edge of the whole pot, like when they were all together, which makes sense with the way this is growing. There's tons of new growth in the middle, so I'm not concerned at all. I kind of like plants that are growing a little weird. Like these ones are kind of sticking out sideways, and I think it looks kind of cool up there. I'm sure it's going to go through some shock. All 3 of them probably will, which is totally fine and normal. These are the moss pole guys that I did. This was a little Scindapsus I pulled out of my main pot. This is the Enjoy I had on that skinny little dowel, and I put it here. I also chopped it where the leaves started to get smaller. This is the Mandula. It looks a lot better now that I watered, that I decided to put up. And then this one was already on a moss pole. I just put it on a bigger one. And it is the... Oh, I'm blanking. Here's the rest of the Mandula. It's looking a little empty now since I took that piece out. But not bad. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel so good after I get plant chores finished. I mean, obviously, when you get to a certain amount of plants, the chores are seemingly never ending, but I love them, so I don't mind. But sometimes it is hard to get everything finished right on schedule or on time, just kind of like when they should be done, which is totally normal and it's fine. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram as always, plantitings. If you want to subscribe, like, comment, I greatly appreciate it. Love all of those things. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in my next video.